I hope that you are well. All right, so we're going to start with today's lesson. It is a grade 4 English lesson on regular plural nouns. All right, so before we log in, we're going to the A plus classes, A plus students.ca. So you're going to A plus students.ca, and then we are going to log in with our username as well as our password. All right, so once you've logged in with your username as well as your password, and then you're going to select the subject of language arts, and then we select grade 4. All right, so we've selected the subject of language arts. Now we're going to scroll down up until we get to regular plural nouns. All right, so the chapter that we are focusing on today is regular plural nouns. All right, so under the chapter of regular plural nouns, we're going to focus on the lessons of forming regular plurals with s, es, and ies, right? And then we're also going to use regular plurals with s, es, and ies. And then we're going to form regular plurals with s, es, ies, and ves. And then we are also going to use the regular plurals with s, es, ies, and ves, right? All right, so before we go into our lessons, right? So we are doing a grade 4 lesson on regular plural nouns, and we said regular plural nouns are nouns that form the plural by adding either an s, or we can add an es, or we add ies to the singular form, right? And regular plurals are used to indicate more than one person, animal, thing, or idea, right? And that is where the word plural comes in. So, plural, it indicates more than one, either person, place, thing, or idea, right? And once again, regular plural nouns are nouns that form the plurals by either adding s, es, or ies to a singular form or to a singular word. And once we add ses or ies to a singular form or word, it then changes the singular form into a plural form or word, right? And we have a few examples over here. It says plural forms are nouns, right? The first rule is for most nouns, just add an s, right? The second rule is for nouns ending in s, x, ch, which is like ch, or sh, which is sh, we add an es, right? And with the first rule, right, an example is apple, right? Remember the first rule is said is we just add an s, right? So for example, one apple, which is a singular form, right? However, if we look at the pictures, there's 1, 2, 3 apples, right? One apple, 3 apples. So we added an S to make the word plural, right? And then the second rule is we add an ES, right? If the words either end in S, X, CH, or SH, right? An example is peach, PEACE, peach, right? So one peach, and then there's 1, 2.5 peaches. So we added the es to the word peach, and then it changed our form to a plural form, right? Then the third rule is for some nouns that ends in f, we need to change the f to v, right? And then we add the es. So basically we can add ves, right? Because we change the f to a v and then we add the es. So it's like adding ves, right? And here we have an example like leaf, right? One leaf, and we have many leaves where we change the F into a V, and then we also add E and S. So it's VES that we add, right? However, there's also, even though the rule says if there's some word, some nouns that ends in F, we need to change it to a V, right? But some does not change, right? So for some nouns ending in F, change the F to a V and add an ES. But we can make an exception to roof, chef, cliff, right? So roof, one roof, many roofs, right? We just add an S. The same with dwarf, one dwarf, and lots of dwarfs where we just added an S and we didn't change the F into a VES, right? All right, so back to our lesson we go. All right, so we're going to go to the first lesson that says form regular plurals with S, ES, or IES. All right, so singular means one, right? So singular only refers to one. So if we say singular noun, then we know that singular noun refers to one person, one place, one thing, or one idea, right? So singular means one, right? For example, one tree, right? Only one tree, right? And then we have plural. It means more than one, which means that plural nouns refer to more than one person, more than one place, more than one thing, more than one idea, right? That is plural. And with plural, right, it says with singular words, singular means one. So with singular words, we just add an S to make them plural, to make them more, right? For example, singular, one tree, plural, two, three, trees, right? Because it's refers to more than one tree, right? So one tree, two trees, right? All right, then we say if a singular word ends in S, CH, SH, X, or Z, right? Then we just add an ES to make it plural. Example, one bush, two bushes, right? All right, so there's one bush refers to only one bush. And then we added the ES to change that singular form bush into a plural form, which is bushes, bushes. We added an ES, right? All right. Okay, so now we're going to do our sentence. Okay, so now it says, right, this is forming regular plurals with S, ES, and IES, right? We need to type the missing word. So minute plus S. So minute, which is singular, plus S. If we add an S, then it means that that word minute is going to change into the plural form of minutes. 1 minute, 2 minutes. So we added an S to show it is plural, right? So the plural of minute is minutes. So the plural of minute is minutes, right? So we added an S to change the singular word minute into minutes, which is plural now. Week, right? Week. So we have wig, right? It is singular, right? And the plural form of wig is we need to add an s. So wigs, right? One wig, two or more wigs. And there we added an s. So the singular form of wig or one wig is wig, and more than one wig is wigs. So the plural form of wig is wigs. All right, dish. Dish ends in sh, right? And they said if a singular word ends in sh, we add an es, right? So one dish, right? So dish is singular, right? And the plural of dish, we said we added es is dishes, and there we added an es to change the word dish, which is singular, into the plural form dishes, right? So one dish, many dishes, right? All right. So singular, once again, it means one, and plural means more than one, right? And with most singular words, we either only add an s to change the word or to make the word plural, pardon. Or if the singular words end in s, ch, sh, x, or z, then we need to add an es to make the word plural. And there we have an example. Bush, one bush, two bushes. And there we added an es to show or to make that word plural, right? So plural means more than one. All right, let's go begin our test, right? And we're going to do a test now on forming regular plurals with s, es, and ies. All right, so we need to type the missing word, right? Walrus plus s, right? So walrus plus es, sorry, es. So walrus plus es. Is it walrus or is it walruses? So walrus or walruses. We need to choose the correct word, right? If we add an es to the word walrus. All right, so if we add an es to the word walrus, right? And then it changes or it makes the word, the singular word walrus, and it changes into walruses by adding an es to make the word plural. All right, so we need to type the word song. Song plus s. So song is singular, right? So we need to change that word into a plural form. So song plus s. Is it song or songs? Song or songs? We are typing the missing word. We are changing the word song, one song, to songs by adding an s, right? So now it is it's plural of song. Grumble, grumble plus s. So what is grumble plus s? Is it grumbles or grumble? We need to choose the correct word, the plural form of the word grumble. Is it grumbles or grumble? And we only need to add an s. So if we add an s to grumble, then the word becomes grumbles, right? Tail, one tail plus s. So tail plus s. Is it tail or tails? So tail or tails. We need to add an s. All right, so one tail, more than one tails, because we added an S. So now it changes into a plural form. All right, so that is the test on forming regular plurals with S, ES, and IES, right? So now we're going to the next one that says use regular plurals with S, ES, and IES, right? And we said singular, it means one, right? Plural means more than one, right? So singular nouns, plural nouns. So singular nouns means that we're only referring to one person, one place, one thing, or one idea. And plural nouns are where we're referring to two or more people, places, things, ideas, right? Even animals, right? And with most singular words, we either add an S to make them plural, right? Or if the singular word ends in S, CH, which is ch, or SH, which is sh, or X or Z, then we need to add an ES to make it plural, right? However, if we also have a word that ends in a consonant Y, right? For example, baby, right? So if we have a word, either baby, okay, yes, baby already, right? So baby. So if we have a word that ends in the consonant Y, then we need to drop the Y and we add the IES to make it plural. So then we're going to write it as babies. And as you can see, we did not add the Y. We dropped the Y, right? Remove the Y and we added IES to show or to make that word plural. The same with family, right? We have family. As soon as we make that word plural, right, then we drop the Y, we add the IES, and that word becomes families, right? All right. All right, so now we're going on to our sentence, right? It says complete the sentence with the correct plural. Nathan watched his two favorite television is a program on Tuesday. We need to change the word program and make it plural. So Nathan watched his two favorite television program on Tuesday. We need to add an S to the word program in order to make it plural. So which means that we are going to say Nathan watched his two favorite television programs. So we added an S to the word program to make it plural. So which means that the plural of program is programs. And we just added an S. All right. Mr. and Mrs. Durand keep their five, is it canary, in an enormous bird cage. We need to change that word into a plural word or plural form. So canary, we need to change the word canary and make it plural. Remember we said that if a singular word ends in a consonant Y, like we have over here, right? Then we need to drop the Y and we add an IES to make it plural, right? So Mr. and Mrs. Duran keep the five and we're going to say canary. Remember we said we drop the Y, we don't put the Y, we only put the IES. So canaries, right? So Mr. and Mrs. Duran keep their five canaries in an enormous bird cage, right? We now change that word canary and made it plural, right? Which means that the plural form of canary is canaries. Edna searched through her dress to find her favorite one. Dress, right? We need to choose the correct, we need to complete the sentence with the correct plural. So one dress, right? She was looking for more than one dress or looking through more than one of her dresses. All right, so we are going to add an es because I said if a word ends in s, then we add an es, right? So dress. So Edna searched through her, we're going to add an es, just dresses, and then we added an es to the word dress to make it plural. So the plural form or the plural word of dress is dresses, and we added an es to change the word into dresses, right? And we said singular means one, plural means more than one. So we either add an s to make it plural or we add an es to make it plural, and usually that is if the word ends in s, ch, sh, x, or z, or we add an ies, right? If the consonant y, if the consonant ends in y, then we drop the y and we just add ies to make the word plural. All right, so we're going to begin our test on regular plurals with ses and ies. So this is us using regular plurals. All right, complete the sentence with the correct plural. We need to change the word citizen, right, into a plural form. So citizen should be protected by the government. So is it citizen or citizens? Need to be protected by the government. So is it citizen or citizens? Need to be protected by the government. All right, so we're going to say citizens, right? And we added an S to show it's a plural form. My mother grows beautiful red poppy in her garden, right? And remember, we said if the word has a consonant Y, right, at the end, poppy, right, then we drop the Y and we add the IES, right? And we change that word into peace. All right, so which means that my mother grows beautiful red poppies, poppies in her garden, right? With the IES. My mother uses the good dish only when company is coming. My mother uses the good dish only when company is coming. So is it dishes or dish? Dishes or dish? We need to choose the correct one. All right, so if a word ends in sh, right, then we add an es. So dishes, right? So the plural form of dish is dishes, right? All right, we're going to do one last one. Modern axe generally have a steel blade and a wooden handle. Axe. So modern axe generally have a steel blade and a wooden handle. We need to choose the correct plural word, right? To complete the sentence. Is it axe or axes? Remember, we said that if a word ends in X, sorry, then we need to add an ES to make it plural. So one X, more than one X's, and we added an ES to the word, right? So X's. All right. And then several new family moved into my neighborhood. Is it families, which is YS, or families, which ends in IES? And just a reminder that if the word ends with a consonant Y, right, then we drop the Y. So if we change it into a plural, so if the word ends in a consonant Y, right, it means that we drop the Y, we add IES, changes into the plural form, family, right, without the Y. As you can see, there's no Y within that word. So we're going to choose the second option, which is families. And if you also have that, then well done. All right. All right, so that was forming and using regular plurals with S, ES, and IES. Now we are going to form and use regular plurals with S, ES, IES, and VES. And before we do that, we're going to do an activity, right? So we're going to do one activity where we're either going to add an S or an ES to a word, right? So here it says these are plural nouns, right? A word needs to be plural when there is more than one. Most of the time we just need to add an S to make the word plural, right? For example, one dog, two dogs, right? But if the noun ends in an S, an X, CH, or SH, then we need to add an ES to make that word plural, right? So in this activity, we're going to add S and an ES to the word below to make it plural, right? So we're not going to do all of it. We're just going to do like a few of it, hey? All right. Okay, so one cat, right? So we're either going to add an S or an ES, right? To change the singular word into a plural word. So one cat, two, and we're just going to add an S to show cats. One pencil, two or more pencils, and we only added an S. One fox, two or more foxes, and we added an ES. One exam, two exams, and we just added an S, right? One bus, three buses, just an ES. All right, let's go to the word wish. One wish, two wishes, and we add an ES. And the same with branch. One branch, ending in CH, two or more branches, right? And then chair, we add an S for chairs, signs, dolls, kisses, where we add an ES, forests, bones, glasses, we add an ES, and beaches, we add an ES, right? And that shows plural nouns, right? All right, we're going to do only these ones. The next one says write each word below in its plural form. So now we're going to rewrite the whole word into its plural forms. right? So 1 inch, 2 or more inches, right? Inches. 1 class, 2 classes, and we added an es, right? 1 tax, many taxes, and we added an es. 1 peach, 2 or more peaches, we added an es. Frog, frogs, and we only added an s, right? All right, and then we have dresses, matches, guesses, boxes, and dishes, right? And that is words that changed into plural, and plurals refer to more than one. All right. Okay, so now we're going back to our tutorial. We're going back to our tutorial and we are going to form regular plurals with s, es, ies, and ves. All right, and remember we said that singular means one, refers to one thing, person, place, or idea, and plural means more than one, right? So plural nouns refers to more than one person, place, animal, thing, or idea, right? And once again, we said that most of the singular words, we add an S to make them plural. So we just add an S, like for example, tree, 1 tree, 2 trees. We just added an S to make the word plural. However, if a singular word also ends in S, CH, SH, X, or Z, then we add an ES to the word to make it plural. For example, bush, 1 bush, 2 bushes, or 1 peach, 2 or more peaches. We add an ES. 1 box, 2 or more boxes. Right? Yeah. So I already put the plural form over there in boxes. All right. So that is but a few examples. Then we also say if a singular ends in the consonant Y, then we drop the Y, we add an IES to make it plural, right? So 1 baby, 2 or more babies, right? Or 1 family, 2 or more families, right? We said we drop the Y and we just add IES, families, right? And don't forget, we drop the Y and we add IES. And as you can see, I did not add the Y within the word families, right, to make the word plural. All right. All right, so we need to type the word, the missing word, walrus. So walrus is singular plus ES, right? Is walruses, right? And we added an ES to the word, right, to make it. So 1 walrus, 2 or more walruses, and we added an ES. All right, so we have 1 branch, 1 branch, and it ends in CH. And remember we said if a word ends in CH, we add an E. So 1 branch, 2 or more branches, right? We change the word into a plural form. 1 branch, 2 or more branches. Right, the next one is 1 turnip, 1 turnip, right? Here it says that we need to only add an S to the word turnip. So one turnip, two or more turnips. And we added an S to change the word into a plural form. All right. Then, yep, that is the word. So we said with walrus, right? We had one walrus. Once we added an es, we changed the word from walrus, one walrus, to two or more walruses, right? Which changed the word into plural form. Same with branch, one branch, two or more branches. All right. So now we're going to our test, right? So we're going to our test. Let's click in test. And we're going to test ourselves with forming irregular plurals with S, ES, and IES. All right, so we need to type the missing word, town plus S. So town plus S, is it town or towns? Because remember, we are not changing this word into a plural form. Town or towns? All right, so town plus S, right? It means that we're changing the word, the singular word town, into a plural word, towns, right? Towns. Okay, and that is correct. So if you have towns, then well done. Body, right? Body. And there they separated the Y. And remember, we said that when the Y is separated, like here, right? It means that we are going to drop the Y. Let me do this. You're going to drop the Y and we're only going to add IES, right? So one body, two or more. Is it bodies or is it body? We are not changing this word into a plural form. So bodies or body. All right, so we have to say bodies because we dropped the Y and we added the IES, right? And we changed that word body into the plural form bodies. All right, one bucket. So bucket plus the word S, the word S, the letter S. Bucket plus S. So bucket plus S, is it buckets or bucket? We are not changing this word, the singular word, into a plural form. Bucket plus S. All right, so if we add an S to make it buckets, right, it means that we are not referring to two or more buckets, right? Same with fox. Fox plus S plus ES. So remember we said that if a word ends in an X, then we need to add ES to that word in order to make the word plural. So fox plus ES, is it fox or foxes? We need to select the plural form of fox. All right, and the plural form is foxes. We added an ES to make the word plural. So if you have that, then well done. All right. So now we formed regular plurals, right, with S, ES, IES, right? And now we're going to use regular plurals with S, ES, IES and VES, right? All right, so once again, singular, it means one, plural means more than one, right? So we either add an S to make it plural, to a word that to make it plural, or we add an ES to words that ends in S, CH, pardon, SEH, X, or Z to make it plural, or if a word ends in a consonant Y, right? For example, like baby, we then drop the Y, we add an IES to the word to make it plural. Now, if a singular word ends in if, right? So if a singular word ends in if or fe, right? So if the word ends in if or fe, then we need to drop the if or the fe and we add the ves to make the plural, to make it plural, right? So it's basically like, for example, wolf, right? So we basically drop the if and make it into a v, and then we also add the ves. So wolves, right? All right. All right, let's have one example. Let's go over the sentences or example sentences. In Canada, fry are sometimes served with gravy and cheese. Fry, we need to change the word fry. So one fry, many fries, right? So we need to change the word fry and make it plural, right? We need to write the correct plural form. And we said if the word ends in the consonant Y, we drop the Y, we add IES to the word, right? Remember, we don't add the Y, we add an IES and then it changes into the plural fries, right? So now we can say in Canada, fries are sometimes served with gravy and cheese. And as you can see, we did not add the Y. We dropped the Y or removed the Y and we just added the IES, right? To change that word into the correct plural form. So fries. Victor and his mother had salad before the main meal, right? One salad. Victor and his mom had salads, right? Which means that we are only going to add an S to the word salad. So one salad, and the plural word of salad is salads. And we just added an S to show the plural form of that word. Mom keeps important addresses in a book near the telephone. So address, right? We need to change the word address into the plural form or the correct plural form. So one address. So mom keeps all the important addresses. So one address. We are going to add an es, right, to make the word plural. So then we're going to say it's addresses, and we added an es to the word to make it plural. So the address and addresses. So addresses is the plural form of address. All right. So now we're going to do a test on using regular plurals with S, ES, IES, and VES. We need to complete the sentence with the correct plural. Mr. and Mrs. Camacho take dance class every Saturday. We need to change the class into a plural word. Is it class or classes? Do they take class or classes? Remember, we said that if a word ends in S, we es to change it into a plural. So, which means that Mr. and Mrs. Camacho take dance classes or classes every Saturday. So, classes is the correct plural word. Always use your manner at the dinner table. Is it manner or manners at the dinner table? We need to choose the correct word, the correct plural word. All right, so we need to use our manners, and we only added an S to change the word into a plural form. There are many country in the continent of Asia. Is it country or countries? There are many country or many countries on the continent of Asia. And remember, we said that once our word ends in the consonant Y, we're going to drop the Y, we're going to add the IES to change the word into a plural form, which is countries. All right. All right, so in today's lesson, we formed as well as used regular plurals with S, ES, and IES, right? We also learned when to use VES, right? And usually we use VES if the word ends in an F or FE, and then we change that F or FE into VES, right? So that is regular plural nouns, and singular means one. Plural refers to more than one, right? So we either add an S, ES, IES, or VES to change a singular word, which refers to one, into a plural noun, which refers to more than one person, more than one place, more than one thing, or more than one idea. All right, so grade fours, that is the end of our lesson on regular plural nouns. Thank you very much for joining our lesson. Till next time, goodbye.